Are you guys ready? This is the second episode of the Bass Podcast. And on today's episode, we're going to do it the way that we wanted to do it, with a little bit more music and a little bit less social commentary. And for our guest today, we have Mr. Harry Simmons. On Instagram at Legion Harry, and we're going to send you all the links. Hopefully there'll be a layover by this. And we've got Danny with the shot.
There's a finger up.
Let me give you one correction. Legion Harry, close. Legend Harry. See, it's funny. It's like legendary, Legend Harry.
Okay, we'll make sure to edit that part out for sure.
It's not like a legion of Harrys. It's like Legend Harry.
But today we're here to Legion.
Oh, because the way I said it.
Legion.
Okay, yeah. I feel like a legion of fans.
No, it's like Legend Harry. Like Legend.
You should have a legion of fans. Though.
I would love that someday.
We're on our way.
When we show up to the next show, we just call ourselves the Legion.
The Legion. We're already the Legion. We're legionaries.
Yeah.
Okay, sick.
Yeah.
We're legionaries.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Danny with the shot. Right here. Danny, what did you do last night?
Shot Jesse Reyes' concert
Where'd you shoot
at the Masonic.
Right on. How was that?
That was great. Loved the energy. Armani White was there, he has that song Billie Eilish, really popular.
Yeah, that's hot right now. And speaking of hot music, we have the owner of the Stax Record Shop, Gabe.
What's going on, world? This is Gabe, DJ Dela here again at the Stax Record Shop. Just spinning some music. So right now we have Ghost Smoke Orchestra, A New Kind of Love, which drops today. All streaming in a physical place where you can buy music.
Hey, listen, more than just a cool place that you can buy music, follow the Stax Record Shop on their Instagram, because a lot of local artists and a lot of DJs come through here. This is like a really hub. It's a hub for artists because just the vibe that's in here. And speaking of the vibe that's in here, we're going to talk about Harry, and we're going to definitely talk about the people that he's playing with. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to hand the reins off to Danny and talk about where you guys met.
We met at either earlier this year or end of last year at Phony People's concert, and Eloise Gino was performing.
That's right. Yeah, it was me and Eloise Gino. We were opening for Phony People at the Cornerstone.
Yeah, the Cornerstone. Yeah.
That was a really fun show, man.
That was a great show. I love Gino and Phony People. Like,
that's a good combo, right?
Great combo.
Yeah, I agree. And Phony, those are some of the nicest dudes ever. Like the bass player is super cool in that band.
Barry.
Barry.
They're hot right now, huh?
They're killing it. Yeah,
I think they're dropping an album soon, right?
They are. Are they released some new single, or maybe it's on its way? The album. Yeah, they're coming out with new stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
I got to hang out with them backstage or in the green room at in San Francisco. I forgot the place, but my boss right now at my internship, he had a after party with Phony People performing.
That's sick.
And
really cool.
I think that was the day after that show, possibly the day after that show with Gino. Or I might have confused the shows.
Yeah, either one.
But yeah, I got to talk to them backstage, and they're dropping probably this year, end
That's
of this
awesome,
year.
man. Yeah, I'm gonna look out for that.
I love it when good things happen to good people, and I think that, from the outside looking in, because I'm not in your world, but I see some of the artists that you're working with right now, and it seems to me just the way that they approach not only the craft, they're literally changing the game. And I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about game changers, working with game changers, concerts that you got coming up.
Okay.
Yeah. This is literally all about you.
All right, yeah, let's do it. Well, you want me to take it over from here?
For sure.
Yeah. So, artists that I work with who I'm like beyond blessed to work with, I believe, are the first one I mentioned is Eloise Gino. He's the guy who's put just meeting him. I felt like within knowing him for a month, I felt like I'd known him for years. I had got invited to do a session with him at this Airbnb they rented out, and we brought recording equipment in, and we ended up doing our first single that night. We pumped out a whole song. I played guitar and bass and co-produced it. It was called Live Fast, Die Young.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on all platforms. Live Fast, Die Young by Eloise Gino featuring what's his name? Internet James.
We're gonna put the banner up on
play
that.
a snippet of the song right now.
Yeah, you got it. Me? Oh,
No, the editor.
Oh yeah, play it.
Mad at me cause you can't keep up. Your girl body older loud, shut your bitch ass up. Controlling my outcome, nigga fuck all your bad luck. Protect the killer serving us, that just don't add up. Yeah.
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 It's already
Yeah, so that was super fun, and if it wasn't for Gino, and Gino's how I met like Pharaoh, for example, and it just kind of snowballed from there, and more and more people. But Gino is like, he's like the nicest dude you'll ever meet in your life, like so balanced, and which is like, we're like yin and yang. Like I'm very much opposite of how Gino is.
You meet him in the afternoon. You guys have an Airbnb and you pump out a song within a few hours.
Yeah.
There's got to be chemistry.
But also I think he appreciates the fact that we're so different, and I appreciate it too, because like there is definitely musically, it's like boom blend. Like I very much compliment what he does and he compliments what I do, but like just like who I am as a person, Gino doesn't say much and I say a ton. Gino's like very polite, and I sometimes like offend people. You know, like I run my mouth.
It's a working relationship with an artist.
Yeah, man. But and I think but that's what me and Gino like the most, is we are so different. But when it's time to do the music, like man, we come together and we just kill it.
Because I'm listening to, the backgrounds that you're playing for a lot of these rappers, and for me being a little bit older and growing up in a different generation of hip hop, we almost felt like a kind of a disconnect lately. Do you feel like that ever, Gabe? Because you're
from the music.
Yeah, just because it just became like, it seemed like it was becoming a lot more about image again, especially with the internet, than it did about becoming about the music. And then I listen to you, and you're playing with these rappers, and it just, you have no choice but say, hey, I'm a musician.
Yeah, that was, so I'll touch base on that. Like, first time, like Russell is the guy who comes to mind. And working with him and talk about like a game changer, man. That guy is shaking up the whole industry. Like it's about to be, like it's gonna be wild. It's already wild and out of control, but it just keeps going. It's crazy to watch. But having worked with him, the first time I really got to work with Russell was he invited me to his place and to do some live sessions, and he didn't send me a set list, no song. I wasn't familiar with his library of work because he already had like hundreds of songs out and albums, and I was like, I've heard like 3 songs, and I go to his house to do the session, and we ended up shooting 16 songs, and he just played me the song.
Wait a second, you go to his house, you never even met him before, you've heard like 3 of his, met him once, you go over to his house, and then all of a sudden you guys just start like, hey dude, what's going on?
I have to learn these songs by ear, and I'm like, fuck yeah, that's my bread and butter. And so it was like, we chatted events right down to business all day. We worked for like 8 hours that day, but we got 16. Every song was done first take, one time, and so he'd play me the song, the actual song, and I'd hear the chords, and make it just like an a cappella guitar and vocals and guitar, and that's how we did it, and we ended up getting 16 done.
So I'm a little bit confused in the process.
All right.
So did you? No, you don't have to rewind. I just want to ask a question.
Yeah.
So you go in there, and is the music written, or are you writing the music?
He has recorded music of, so I didn't explain that well. We were gonna do guitar covers of his songs that he'd already released, but just stripped down with the guitar and vocals. That's it. So for a stripped down segment of releases, for the Good Company and the Russell.
Okay.
And so he'd play me a song and he'd go, how can we do this? Just like if we even had piano chords or a bass line, I'd put that into the guitar, and we'd pump those out. So like Slippery Slope is one of his songs. I just did the chords on the guitar, or like another song I just vibe off the bass, but it's just the guitar and him.
That's amazing. Because there's one song that he has that I can think of right now. I think it's called, is it Save This Dance? Save the Dance? And he leads off with Magical. And I'm like, it was. Like,
he's a poet, man. And but he's like more, he's so much more than that too. Like, not only is his music so beautiful, like good, like just good, like straight up, he tells the truth. He doesn't rap about generic shit, and he's great for a reason. His work ethic is really what separates him to me. Like, when I knew Russell when he was like, you know, peanuts, like just grinding like everyone else, and what has changed about him and his work ethic is absolutely nothing. He was working as hard then as he was now, and that to me is so cool. Like he didn't just get busy and start. Like he was making himself busy for free, and now it's the dividends are, you know, it's showing.
And he shares that well.
And, oh, dude,
And now
it's
everyone,
he's got such a good balance of being open and like letting you approachableness, but at the same time not just giving himself away. Like he knows his value. He's gonna be, if you want to approach him, like he's not just gonna like. I'm sure everyone says, "Dude, I got a verse. I need you to be on this beat." Like everyone and their mom says some shit every day, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously you can't be giving himself away like that, but if you show like you're gonna invest time to like try to reach him, he'll respond, you know.
So I have a question about your work ethic. Once again, shout out to Russell, shout out to Vallejo, shout out to the Bay. I'm from Vallejo, so I gotta represent Vallejo 707.
What? You're
I
really tough.
I don't want to say about me though. I'm making about the legend here. So you seems like you just go into these spaces and you mesh well with these artists.
Yeah.
What is it about artists that you like? What creates chemistry for you?
For sure. Well, I think, one way that I kind of like how people come to know that I have abilities with the craft, you know, is like if I go into the studio, you have to offer so much more than just a little guitar solo. You have to do something that's really going to complement that song and try to really fill the space nicely and efficiently. And just being able to do that without thinking about it much takes a lot of time. Like when we were just chilling here, like I was playing that what I was hearing, and it was cool, it was fun, but you gotta really it's all like that pocket and knowing where to put each part in a recording, and then also just being able to do the job fast and well really makes sense. Like there's so many people, like you send them a song and they go, "What's the key?" And it's like, as a musician, you should know, you should hear it and kind of get to where the key would maybe. And, or like, another one is like the BPM. It's like, know how to use your DAW so you can, you know, like detect it and boom, BPM is done. You don't need to go ask for those questions. And just knowing how to really do the craft of a musician's job takes a lifetime of skill and it's ever evolving, you know? It's like, I certainly invested a lot of time since I was very young in playing music, and now I play the bass and I write and produce full songs as well. And so like I write and produce full songs and just leave space for vocals and sell and distribute those, or, you know, give those to my friends, artists who are coming up, and those are awesome. Or clients hit me up through Instagram and say, "Can you put guitar or bass on this track?" And I love doing that. That's awesome. You gotta meet the rate that I asked for and request, and then if that goes down, it's like I'll have it to you back the same exact day, and it's done, it's mixed, it's pro quality, and everyone's stoked, everyone's winning. So yeah.
That's amazing. Go ahead.
I'm just like curious, just how did you build that network, that repertoire?
It takes a lot of time. It takes a ton of time, man. First studio I went to is called Street Symphony in Fremont, which is now like what do they call it, a Red Wall studio or something. There's a couple of those.
Is that one in Niles?
What?
Is it in Niles?
There's one in San Jose, I think.
Okay.
A Red Wall or Red Room. I forget. I don't know what it's called.
I've been to the one in San Jose.
Yeah, what is it called? Red Wall or?
I think it's called Red Wall.
Red Wall.
Yeah, Red
yeah.
Wall Studios.
And so it used to be called Street Symphony, and that's where I hit it off with a really cool engineer and producer. His name's Todd Cooper, and he's in LA. And Todd Cooper actually works for like he has gigs like Tinashe and Larry June. Like he's the shit. He has platinum records, and he's really sick. And he was that's kind of the first relation of how I got some stuff going. And just being able to name drop that dude helped a little bit, you know, as someone like I've worked with and he liked my playing and stuff. And then I kind of got, and then it was slow. It was slow for so long, you know, just like people I knew growing up who would occasionally do music but then fall off the map, you know. But it's like, it takes time building that repertoire. Like I met Gino, as I said, only like 2 years ago, but it feels like I've known him forever. because we were talking, and I'd send him something and he'd get to it, and it was done, and then the product, and next one, like after only knowing him for like 3 months, we released an EP and a single, and that was really cool.
I feel like when you're working with people in the creative space, that it's kind of hard. You know, for me, it's just hard to bill out hours because you're in this creative space and time space stops.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
you just don't even know where you're at.
I also practice. So people argue like, like if you can't just force creativity, and I agree with that totally to an extent. But if you don't practice writing songs every day as a songwriter, or practice producing something every day as a producer, what are you doing? You know, like you have to at least. So many days where I go to my computer and force myself for hours, just sit there trying, and nothing happens. There's an empty project right there. So next day, maybe 2 days of that, and then I have a song one day, and it's awesome. I'm working on a song, it's coming together, I'm filling that grid up, and then it's fantastic. But it's because of those times of failing at it that you get your juices flowing, or like maybe you record something, you're like, that's kind of shitty, but whatever, and then you could come back and like, that's actually not so bad, the idea's there, I just gotta refine it a little.
I'm so glad you said that, because I think a lot of young artists, because I work with students, they sit there and they think like a song, just like an artist just knocks it out.
No.
It's actually a process. And there's so many failures. You're just looking at the screen like, I have nothing to offer,
And
then it comes out.
Then you start learning about like little like ways of how to write songs. Like you could start with like simple, like for like a pop groove, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so easy to just build off that, like adding parts and layers to that. But you know, it's best not to. I don't know. It just all depends what genre you're going for, man. And being able to do a lot of different genres has helped me too, because there's so much crossover within genre.
Can you talk about the genres?
Yeah, like I grew up, like the first song I ever learned on guitar was going like this with my thumb going. You know? Then I found out you use your pointer finger, dude. This is like, you'll see where this is going. And then the power chord, you know? And then it all comes to life.
I think
like,
we all know that one. I think we all know that.
So that was sick. Like playing rock as a kid was super fun, and like Rage Against the Machine was really fun. But at the same time, when I was playing that, I was also playing like Santana stuff, like.
Oh yeah, classics.
Yeah, and learning like phrasing and the improvising and like everything. I was playing bossa nova as a kid, like.
Oh, I love bossa nova. Resilience, right?
Yeah, all that was really, really fun, and I was lucky enough to be able to do that at a really young age, because I went to a school. It was like a super hippie school of like only 20 kids a class.
Were you gifted right as a little kid?
No, hell, I didn't know what. I don't believe in having a gift or talent. I think I was just my talent and gift was that I loved the guitar. I was not natural. Nobody in my whole entire family has ever been a musician, or I think no one's owned a guitar, for sure. No one in the history of my family tree. So my parents didn't know what even the threshold of what's good, what's bad, what's whatever. They just knew I was spending a lot of time on it, and I wasn't putting away, and I was. People were saying that I was getting good quickly.
You know, I gotta tell you guys something. It's actually right now, it's the Indian Festival of Lights. It's Diwali, and basically it's Indian New Year's, and it's about bringing light and awareness into your life, and we celebrate it by lighting candles. And so basically, this is kind of like it's a good episode for me, because not only can I celebrate Diwali, but I can also say that England has an Indian prime minister, and if you think it doesn't feel good, it really, really does. I mean, and he went to Stanford. It's a Stanford Indian.
Because,
yeah, he's a Stanford Indian, so we're going to claim him. Okay, so yes, it feels really good. It feels really good. It's almost like a flex for the Bay Area, like, you know what I mean? Because he went to school here.
Raj Mathai is the real flex for the Bay
I love
Area.
Raj.
Yeah, who
I love
doesn't
Raj.
love Raj?
Yeah, Raj Mathai.
But dude, I'm calling it right now. I think he's a sicko. You can't be that nice and that clean and not have some scandal. I'm calling a Raj Mathai
Hold on.
Sorry,
hold
he's
on.
an
I
angel.
got Raj Mathai's back because Monica was in the newsroom and she worked with
and
him.
how nice and lovely
And
is
she
he?
worked with them,
Is
so
he
she can
safe?
confirm
Is he safe?
that Raj Mathai
He's
is
doing
cool.
something's up.
Raj Mathai.
I interned there, and he said, "You need anything, Monica? I'll help you."
He
I'll
was
help
cool
you."
as hell.
I'm sure he was.
No, he's cool as hell.
Yeah,
he was
like,
cool as hell.
He was so.
So-
he was the
I'm
best
sure,
guy to work with.
because when you're hiding something, you gotta be very cool. He's
Oh.
hiding something.
Don't get me.
I love Raj Mathai, but I just don't buy it.
No. There's no you're gonna get me started on Jeffrey Dahmer and serial killers.
Yeah, I am.
And I promise myself. Did you see this? Did you see
No,
it?
I don't do that.
It's awful. It's actually not even correct or anything. So it's totally bad. And he wasn't even a great serial killer because I
Yeah.
found the craziest one.
Who?
It's like Indian dude. He was a haiku serial killer, and so he wrote poetry. And I don't want to give you the details, but there was an actual. He had a haiku studio and a massage parlor, and he would lure people
Sketchy.
in
It's
to
already
make them write poetry.
Make
You
them
know?
right? You mean kill them?
He would actually kill them, eat them, and in front of the people that he brought it into, and then write them haiku poetry in the process.
Well, that sounds nice.
I don't know, is that 537 or is it 357? Do you guys remember your haiku?
No, I just yeah.
Let's change the topic. So
We're all
that
gonna do haikus next.
we're all gonna write. our
While you
favorite
play the
haiku.
guitar,
While he's playing, we're gonna be writing haiku poetry and guitar. Anyway, back to what's going on. What do you got coming up for upcoming concerts, upcoming shows? What's going on? What's coming down the pipe?
Well, I think I got one with Eloy Gino again, and damn, I should know this like right off top, but it's sometime late November. You'll probably be there.
We'll edit
Yeah.
in the location
Cool.
right here at the
Yeah.
bottom. It's right here.
We'll put
This
the
is where you
flyer
can do
up.
it. Yeah.
Nice, and it's Eloy Gino and I were headlining. Well, he's headlining. I'll be playing with them, and it's for some other really good artists on the board.
Jay Lately, right?
No, we did that show, Jay Lately.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that we did that show. Oh, who else? Who's gonna
This
be
one
this show?
this one is with a guy. Damn, again like super out of the loop. He's dope, up and coming Bay Area guy. I can check right now. Try
Yeah,
to find
sure.
out my phone real quick.
Put it on a pause real
Yeah.
quick, and then
I'll try to find
we'll edit that in too.
Yeah.
So you got those shows coming up. Is that within the next month or so?
Yes, it is. Totally, man. It's with Gino.
How many weeks?
I'll give you the day, man. I'm trying to find this right now.
so when is the Tiny Shop concert with you and La Russell in here?
Oh shit!
Put it out,
Oh,
put it
shit.
out there.
I wasn't even
Tiny
gonna say
Shop
anything.
concert.
I wasn't even gonna say
Hey,
anything.
here we go. Though it's with Nate Curry, Eloy Gino, and Cheyenne G.
Say it up loud to the microphone so they can put it right here.
Nate Curry, Eloy Gino, Cheyenne G.
Right here. This is the concert that you guys want to go to. We'll have a
November
location.
26th.
Where at?
November
Oh, it's gonna
26th.
Pop up.
You want to know where at? I'll tell you. Hold on.
Yeah, we need another venue.
Brick and frickin' mortar.
Brick and mortar,
Brick and mortar.
dude.
My man
That's the
Jake
spot
was
to
probably
be at.
doing sound there.
We got Max Kane is gonna be DJ. You know
Oh,
Max
yeah,
Kane?
Max Kane,
So
yeah.
Max
Oh,
Kane's
yeah.
my boy too.
Okay,
Max, I
he
do a lot of shit
he
with Max
like
Kane.
tagged us in a post.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, Max Kane's
cool.
the
Max
homie.
Kane's cool.
And so that's coming up on November 26th.
Yes, it is.
You got any little cuts out of that you might want to play?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna do a song. We always open with one of our songs that me and Gino do that I composed the music for, called "Spiritual Stones."
Can
Pretty nice one.
Can you play a little bit?
I'll play it a little bit.
Let's listen to that. I want to rock out.
It's not rock, man. It's very very mellow, but it's not.
I know, but like to me, it's just rock because like I guess it's too like that genre covers everything for me.
There you go.
Rock out
Nowadays,
means I just want to get involved
Yeah,
and just
I feel it.
feel the music.
genre fluid.
That's my I guess
Genre
it's lost in
fluid.
translation. Yeah.
Let's see. Let me try to
Yeah.
get this thing here.
So where'd you come up with that?
I wrote that. So a lot of it. It's funny. I just made an Instagram post one day. That's a sick post actually. It's kind of the one that started it all for me and Gino.
Can we put the links in for that Instagram post right here?
Yeah,
Editor?
I'll
Probably
send
put
it.
it in.
Probably above you.
And
What do you mean?
I don't know.
We're gonna have everything on the
Wait,
links.
push button.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, this is
It's
up
just
here.
a little video of my
Wherever
room,
the hell that
and
thing
my
is.
music room just going, or making that riff and looping over it, and playing that little melody. It sounds really nice, and Gino took a liking to it, and we kind of made it into a full song.
I feel like a lot. I mean, I don't say a lot of the hip hop. I mean, like I said, we were talking about this earlier. It's like, just we're working doing stand up comedy. There's like it feels like the performers. There's like three groups of people, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Like, please chime in. But it feels like there's the I told you so's. Then I feel like there's the want to get famous, and then there's the artists. And I just can't. I mean, I think I've been probably the other two before I realized that I'm trying to get to the third. So let's not just even worry about the other two things. Let's just worry about getting to the third and getting as many people to see my art as possible. So now you're hot, and people are playing. Are you getting a lot of requests? Are you feeling overwhelmed? I mean, how do you get your own time?
Well, man, I gotta be. I'd love to be busier than I'm happily busy. Like, I got a good schedule. It's hard having a schedule at all as a self-employed musician. Like, that alone is an accomplishment to have, hours filled throughout your day. So I'm lucky that I like to teach, and I do teach a lot. And I'm fortunate I teach at a lot of elementary schools and private lessons. And I'm very lucky to have that. And I'm lucky that I like to do that. I love to do that too. And as far as making and creating music goes, I want more, man. I'm just getting where my foot in the door of where I want to be, and where I envision myself is, it's like at the top with the biggest guys doing the biggest stuff. And right now I have a little taste of some of that, but I haven't really had like the big bite of it, and like really got to enjoy where I want to be. I'm still grinding like everyone else. That's what I'm saying. And I do recognize it's very awesome to be. I'm happy to be in the situation I'm at, but I want. I'd like to be even more bigger.
Just say it. I want
Yeah,
more.
where is it?
I
Where
want
do you?
more. I want to be work, dude. I want to be that guy who, like, if I call you to produce your album, you drop what you're doing to come, because it's
Work
not
with you.
Yeah, that would be sick. Like, dude, like if you hear Quincy Jones when he calls, like, not to say I'm gonna be the next Quincy Jones, but like, I want to be. I don't want to be famous. I want to be well respected around the people who know. Fame is not what I'm about. That's like a curse, dude. But I want people like the Russell. Like, hopefully, like if he needs the guitar player, he knows that I'm the guy. And I think that's the case, And like that should go. I'd like that to be the case with anyone. And I don't want it to be even more than just a guitar player. I want it to be as a producer, as a songwriter.
Does it get complicated as far as like writing for royalties and licensing for when you collab?
No, that it doesn't get what the complicated part would be. It would be so I kind of said I'm guilty of this too. If you want to call it guilt, I just call it being. This is how I do it. When I write something, I send to multiple artists. I don't send to just one artist and say, "Here you go, it's yours, baby." Dude, I go, you bid. If it's bigger, then maybe it's yours for some back end. Every deal's different.
How do you do that? On what platform?
Well, so how do I get the royalties?
No. How do you send your cuts out?
I just so I just do it. I just text artists.
Okay.
Just text them this. It's trust. I wouldn't just send it to anyone who's gonna go and release it.
These are legitimate artists.
Yeah, these are legitimate pros. So you send them it, and if they vibe to it, then you start talking deals and arrangements.
Okay.
And then if they're gonna release it, then you really talk splits.
That's what I was getting at. How do
And
you
it's
do
always
the
very,
splits?
it's either very fair or in my favor, and it's mind blowing. Like they definitely know. If I give you a song on a silver platter, it's complete. It's all you have to do is vocals. Not all you have to do is vocal, but your job is you're strictly worrying about your creativity and lyricism, and that's great. That's what they want. A lot of artists would love that, right? And I can give you that, or I can contribute to what you've already have going on. So there's all those things, and obviously those are different too. If I write someone a complete produced song, that's going to be more than if I contribute or play a guitar part on a record. But it also just depends. If I play the guitar part on the record and it sets off the song, and I wrote that over, then yeah, that's just as, that's all different. It all depends, and every scenario and deal is different. Yeah.
So for a lot of you artists, if you're stuck and check this podcast episode, and you feel like putting some work into it, you should reach out to Harry because as you can see, he's a very talented individual, and you definitely hook you up with your music. You want to ask Harry anything, Danny? We'll get back to it. Think about it for 1 second.
Let me,
What about you, Gabe?
I'm just interested in your writing process.
Yeah.
Like, how's that? Where do you start?
So
Me too.
I love writing with. Sometimes I'll start with a looping pedal. If I'm really just want to get an idea out there, I'll loop some stuff. But I usually start with it can either go any. Recently I've been starting with bass. I've been starting with the bass, which is common in practice. But it doesn't. I could start with a melody and write a song.
Take us through it.
So here, let's do another groove. Okay, so it's 1, 2. Just get a rough tempo here. So let's change it up a bit. Let's go to like a dance one. Sure, this is cool enough for me. So should I start with bass first, right?
Yeah, however,
So,
your
I'll
natural
just try
element,
it. So this I'm hearing something kind of like, and it's a funky, weird bass thing here, so bear with me. But let's see. So let's see what we do. Yeah, kind of. So what? Yeah, you're gonna love this.
That was
Watch,
funky.
We're
watch.
bass,
Yeah.
dude. We're bass. This is about bass. There's a reason.
Let me start this over, and then you'll like where this is going. Okay?
Hell yeah, we already like
yeah,
it.
that was already
There you go.
We're already
Yeah,
fans.
funky
We're already
already.
fans.
You're gonna love it.
You already got 3 fans.
Let me start
You
this
know?
shit over. So that's gonna keep doing this thing, right? And that's kind of like it's kind of like a 4-bar phrase, and
Can't stop moving my feet. I feel like that girl in the red shoes.
so check it out. And a little variation in between. So I'll keep going. Now I'll go to like guitar sound, and we can either follow the chords. So let's see. I'll mess up a little bit. I'll do that back. So just take an idea and then I'll actually go higher on it. I'll sound better like this or something. Oh, sorry, Ron. Keep fucking on that. You'll
This is the process, though,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So here, we'll get the guitar part right here, hopefully. So I'll keep doing this thing. Then we can do like another little texture. We'll do something like this. Let's see.
the record in a second here?
Yeah.
Because you know what I really bring it in. Because the one you were playing earlier.
Oh, the one.
Yeah,
Beginning?
yeah. Anybody, whichever one you want.
So that was what I was playing earlier was actually a loop I got from a different record. This one right here.
What I love is that he can go in any direction. Listen, this is what we were vibing to earlier today. Oh my god. If this podcast doesn't do shit, it was worth it for that moment right there. If it completely fails, that was magical right there.
No, I appreciate
That was fucking dope,
I
dude.
really appreciate
Seeing that
it.
process, you know, when I listen to artists, because as a DJ and a
That's
producer,
sick.
when I like watching that just makes me want to create music. So I want to thank you for like inspiring, because I dope like artists inspire artists, and like that just inspired me to be like, all right, I want to go home and just sit there
Could
and
you
jam on the.
But dude, like I'm serious. Like I love rap because you don't remember. I grew up in San Francisco in the age of the DJ thing, and we literally, the raves were when we first started when I got over there, and then everyone's like, "This is lame. This is lame."
Yeah.
You know, it's like we don't want to go to these big ass giant parties. We want small parties. We want
Bring back
private
live
parties.
music.
You know what I mean? And it's like, so we made them smaller, and then now they're literally their drugs got as shitty as the music, and everybody went back to making it big again. Well, that's what you get for partying on fentanyl. You didn't even have ecstasy. You guys got this Molly. I'm on it now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But what I wanted, I'm kidding. I was gonna edit that out.
Sound
That's
cool.
my
It
good.
sounds
I really do
No,
Molly,
that's
you
my
know,
good.
I
I
know
said the
Molly.
drugs are cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
that was the bit that I read the other day. It was a complete failure. It was a failure. They're not all winners.
You don't
win
cut
some-
anything.
You win some, fail horribly, whatever.
Oh man, dude! Like I said, I'm still eating it
I
now.
have a-
man.
I have a
People love
question
watching
for you.
it. Go ahead.
So, when did you get started? When did you start producing songs? And do you also mix and engineer all your music?
I
as
do.
well?
I do mix and master and engineer my music. And I've been doing that for a long time too, since I was in 8th grade. I love the looping pedal. As I said, it's a good practice tool for a young musician, especially a guitar player. Because that tool's only as good as you are, right? Like you have to step in time, loop it in time, play in time, all this stuff. And I got good at doing like the one-man band thing with that, and then I started just like, dude, I want to record this in an actual song. So then I got into that on like Logic and using MacBook Pro.
Is that what you're using? Is that your equipment? Talk about your equipment.
Yeah, I just run. I run Logic Pro, and I have the plugins that I use, and I like. I'm lucky. I have my little Universal Audio. I got like a Twin X. You know, that's cool. But before that, even without that, dude, you can make such quality. Like before the Twin X came, I was making half of Gino's stuff is with. I was rocking the cheapest interface that Guitar Center had to offer. It's like not even 100, didn't have phantom power, nothing, and I was killing it on that thing. But then I was like, time came, I was like, dude, I just need to upgrade.
Yeah.
So I did, and sweet.
Speaking of upgrades, let's talk about that guitar. That thing's a nice guitar.
Yeah, it's sick. It was brand new when I got it, but now it's like, it's seen better days. But that's what makes it so freaking cool is that it's like destroyed. And that's what I love. So I open up the case for this, and people go, "Oh my god, you have a '60s Strat!" Like they think it's vintage. And if it was, dude, I'd be a rich man. But I go, no, I actually bought it like here from the store in like 2007, and they go, they make guitars called relic guitars. They didn't make relics back then, so they did a great job. I go, first time I heard that, I was very confused. I was like, I just play it a lot.
It's even worn down where your hands are. That's so authentic.
But this is it. This is this finish, and boom, it's gone. The
It's like
silver
ripped
parts.
jeans.
Yeah, it's all worn. If you guys saw the back of his guitar, you can flip it over. I don't know if the cameras will pick it up, but you can see that's literally worn out from
And all like the bear
friction.
claw. Yeah,
Friction,
the
yeah.
bear claw
Years.
stuff like this, like That is just my fingerprints.
It's what
and stuff.
friction and pain.
Yeah.
That's what that guitar
What,
is worn
what other
like.
instruments do you play?
I played bass as well, and I got like good ear for drum set.
Do you play piano?
Yeah, I can record piano, MIDI parts. Yeah.
Do you have any inspirations as in like one man or woman bands like or artists like?
Great question.
That's a good question. There are some great looping artists for sure.
Like, do you know Tash Sultana?
I knew you were gonna say her. I knew that's what you were gonna say. Yes, she's fantastic.
Or FKJ
I knew you were gonna
and
say
Masego.
you know what's up.
That's where we're going. That's where we're going.
Yeah, those guys are they're sick. All those guys. Yeah, top notch.
Because I think like you know where I just realized how talented some of these kids or musicians are was that FKJ and Masego video where they pick up the different instruments. What was I forget which song it was. Tadal.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
They can sing,
And then
they
they
play
literally-
sax,
yeah.
they play piano, they play guitar, they're sick.
And they're in a little
Yeah,
little mini studio in
yeah.
like a mall,
Red
and
Bull,
it's
it's like Red
almost
Bull.
looks like this actually,
Yeah.
kind of. And it was like, and then they
That's
just kill it.
incredible. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Are you on any videos? And if we are on videos, can we put up the links to the videos? I
Yeah,
guess it's
bro.
up there.
Yeah. I'm in. I got a lot of performances with the Russell from that session we did.
Okay.
So you type in
here.
maybe like the Russell, Good Company, Harry Simmons, and
Yeah.
a lot, like maybe 10 videos will come up at least. Maybe.
I love that
Yeah, there we
he
go.
LaRussell he credits every artist
Yeah,
and
dude.
like the producer, the
Yeah,
guitar player,
he's,
and everyone.
He's
Everyone a
does
part of the
fair
song,
and
yeah.
legit and does it fair and
He's
legit.
what I find amazing about this the Russell. I'm just calling it a phenomenon because
Yeah.
he's the next phenom. We all know that. And what I find amazing about it is like I love the way he markets, where you just put in your own, like, this is how much I want to contribute to
He's
this
so
album.
Cool, He's so
It's
cool.
like it's completely
He's taking
out of the box.
Labels are shitting their pants.
shitting their pants, and that's
All I
what
have to
we
do
like.
is when Drake goes, I'm gonna do what Russell's doing.
Yeah.
Game over. Yeah.
He's gonna go to
When Drake's
an
fighting
arena
you.
in his backyard.
Yeah.
Oh, did you play one of his legendary? I would kill myself when I asked this. Did you play one of those legendary backyard concerts yet?
I played two, bro.
What?
I played the first
We got
one,
the links
I played
for one of
the
those
first
concerts.
one,
Those things
I
are
played the first
legendary.
one and I played the third or second one. Yeah, I played a couple. And they're super fucking fun. And they're
That's what it
super
looked like.
legendary.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, LaRussell has these backyard concerts at his house,
Pay to play.
and he builds his own stage, and people come out, and
So look,
these things are
it's crazy. There's a guy coming from Delaware or Maine for the second time, and there's a guy from Florida. So you come from you fly to Vallejo to go to a concert in the Russell's house, and it's so much fun, bro.
Okay.
I think there was a guy from Europe there last time. I swear to God, a guy from Europe came to Vallejo to go to the Russell show. And
Okay.
That's
okay. That's it right there. I needed to pay for this podcast somehow, and I figured it out. Let me. Don't. What is it?
what is it? Yeah.
Festival tickets. The LaRussell Festival. He's got all. We'll have you DJ over there. Harry's gonna play. This is not a backyard concert. It's a festival.
I feel like it's already there though.
It's a festival
Okay,
quality.
I know Vallejo streets, right? Where's everyone parking? Like, what's going on?
Parking's a bitch.
And
but
I know, I mean, I heard the neighbors are cool with it when I've seen interviews.
the neighbors are cool with it.
Yeah,
The
like-
neighbors pop their heads over the fences and watch, and Russell goes, "Hey, what's up, bro? How's it going, neighbor?"
Is it like
And-
this?
Yeah, literally, the kids on the playgrounds like popping, and he goes, "Hey, what's up? You want to come through, neighbor?"
Yeah.
It's hella funny.
It's just so hip hop.
It's so legit.
It's
and
so
organic, bro.
it's so underground and it's so organic.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the movement. It's organic. I mean, isn't that what Bay Area movement's
Only in
all
the Bay. I
about?
feel like what Too Short was in the '80s, selling tapes out of his trunk, is what LaRussell is today.
Yeah.
Just like, yo, I'm gonna do these shows. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna
You
throw
just
this
do it my
concert
way.
myself. I'm gonna book this venue, and you know what? Pay what you want.
Yeah,
Bro,
it's fucking great.
I am a witness to that. I was at the back of the A's games, or when they used to have, when there were $2 tickets in the bleachers,
Yeah.
and Hammer used to show up, and he'd sell tapes out of the back of his car. It was his crew that got him. Hang with the group. Don't hang out with sketchy crews. I'm telling you guys. If you guys are up and coming, get a good crew. That's the
Yeah.
key to the whole thing. I'm gonna tell you. We know you are who you hang around.
Yeah.
You are who you hang around. And so, Hammer would come by, and it's like, I think that's that Bay Area entrepreneurship, because I know And I'm betting dollars to donuts that like all you guys have parents that were kind of entrepreneurs. Were
Well,
they?
no, not.
Let's talk about them.
My parents, yeah.
Yeah,
My
and their
dad.
influence on the music.
My dad is English. He's from England, you know. Like,
Oh, that's
so I'm a
fantastic.
British dad. Yeah, my full name is pretty British. It's super white British sounding, obviously.
Yeah, it's actually if you yeah,
Ready for
absolutely,
it?
yeah,
It's Harrison Alexander Simmons.
fantastic name.
How
Harrison Alexander Simmons.
Yeah, man. And my dad's a travel agent. He opened a travel agency with my grandpa back in the day. And my mom came in to buy a ticket, and that's how they met.
Like the Eddie Money song.
Like,
Two tickets to
no, but like, my mom was
paradise.
probably going to Southern California. My dad is a schmoozer, dude. He told her to leave her phone number for like a raffle for a cruise that they had offered, but it had been expired for like 3 years. It was just false, and then he called her and he's like, "I have some good news and bad news. You didn't win the raffle, but you want to go to dinner?" And then it's cool. It's kinda cool.
Did your dad have the English accent?
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, the proper English accent.
Yeah,
was it?
yeah.
You know, I grew up with that in India, believe it or not, because
Yeah,
we're
well,
still,
yeah.
dude. But my grandfather was literally in the British Army,
Yeah.
and he was around. He was a magistrate in India. You don't know that. He was a magistrate, and so we had 2 paintings growing in. We had Rabindranath Tagore, and even though he was all English love Irish writers, and we had George Bernard Shaw, and it was really just all about the writing. All about writers, and you know, it's like one of the things that I learned a lot on this show is just like the process is always the same. I mean, you know, writing is really, and grinding out the writing is really where it's at. You know, but then you didn't even write some of the stuff that you came out with. You just played it.
Yeah, but that's all from writing previously.
Oh, it's
It's
like
all-
when
it's
somebody comes goes freestyle on a rap, but they
Yeah.
practice that. Come on.
Well, yeah. It's like it's improvising music. It's improvising music, and if you get very good at it, then you can create multiple parts within the improvisation of a song, I suppose.
As you layer it.
Yeah, layering, yeah. But that's a lot because just the bass. I had to know the bass notes to play, the right ones, and that takes time. It's just learning the neck and the fretboard and all that. Takes
Yeah.
a lot of time.
Gabe, you got any questions for Eric right now?
What's the name of your guitar?
I don't name them. People
Okay.
always say I don't name them. I don't know. Just this is my thing. It's the Fender.
My thing.
Fender.
That's his
Yeah.
thing. And for the editor, I want you to know that you can see these little pictures right here on the screen of Harry as he's building up his legionary of fans, going through the Bay Area, slaying concert after concert. You can see that everybody, I mean, I think there's some common denominators that I see as an artist that are universal truths here. Number 1, nothing comes easy. Number 2, it takes tons and tons of hours that you never see. Number 3, you feel like crap when you're not writing or when some things aren't coming out. These are high-low days. It's not like you're always high and you just came up with this golden nug that is going to change the world. There's just lots of lows to get to the points where you get the highs. And then as you just keep on grinding and grinding, then sometimes something comes along and it just changes everything.
Yeah.
And you just don't know when that time's going to be.
Nope.
And the whole thing is you have to keep on going and going until that time.
Yeah.
I think something adds that it's that passion and love you have. That you know that
Yeah.
it wasn't like you said you didn't feel like you're gifted.
No,
you just
I-
you loved it. So when did you fall in love with the guitar? When it was like, oh, I want to be that. I want to do that.
Yeah. It was really. I have this very memory of me being outside on the little patio of that school, and doing this just for like feeling so nice doing
So we were talking earlier, and you said you got that guitar at 12. That same guitar.
that. This one at 12. Yeah.
So your parents already know you like the guitar? Or
No,
they just-
so the whole deal was I was 10 when I entered that school, and I remember seeing one of my friends go like this. And me being so blown away, being like, how did you remember all of those notes? Like, that was, you're going to be a fucking pro musician. That was crazy. And this is before I touched the guitar. And then I go to school where these kids could really play. I was lucky enough to go to a school where they was super hippie, as I was saying, 20 kids in class, and the music teacher was sick. He was a cool dude, and they had like a sick music room with electric guitars, basses, keyboard, and drum set. And kids they said, "Do you want to be in our band, Harry?" And I was like, "Fuck, I don't play. I'll come and check you guys out and watch you play, but I don't play an instrument." And these kids were all like really good and killing it. and for like 10-year-old kids, you know, like they could play. I was in a class with my other two students who I went to school with was Corey and Lucas, and Corey was like, he studied rocket science, like he's literally a rocket scientist, like really smart dude who I still jam with to this day. And Lucas was like the best young jazz guitar player in the country. Like he was in the Grammy Youth Ensemble, toured with Esperanza Spalding, who I don't know if you know who that is, but she's an upright female jazz bass player who beat Justin Bieber. She won against Justin Bieber for Best New Artist in the Grammys in like 2008 or some shit, or maybe I don't know what year. She won out. She got outvoted she beat Justin Bieber, who was in the same category, you know.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So you know,
Thank
it's
God
like,
for keeping that title in the States.
But it's just a way to go for like a small female jazz upright bassist to take that. Like that's sick. So just like being on those, we would just all three do it, and we were all three like hungry about learning it. And so if you put that together, you'll get good very quickly. And so when I found out like I'm a guitar player for sure, was like skateboarding used to be like my first love. But like I broke my wrist skateboarding once, and I just sit there with my cast on for like a month and like hold my guitar and be like, if I can't play this thing when my cast comes off, this was so not where this is gonna change my life. This is gonna suck. And so I remember my casket getting off, and the first thing I did was go to my guitar, and I was like, fuck yes, game on. Like I could do it, but my wrist was kind of sore. I was like, thank God, like God damn, like it was such the biggest weight off my shoulder when I was like 10.
Is it like a rookie of the year situation?
Did a bar chord again after like not playing for like 3 weeks. I was like, thank God I could still do that, because if I could, I'd be devastated, you know. I didn't know like what my hand was gonna be like, or if it was gonna be strong enough to do that yet. So I don't know. It was nice. It was really.
So did you stop skating at that point?
No, I stopped skating as hard as I was going.
Okay.
You know, I did but I still didn't. No, I'd still go crazy on a skateboard. I love
Street or ramp?
Street, dude.
Street. Okay.
Yeah, I loved it.
He looked at me and he said street. Like that was like a qualifier, because if he said ramp, I wouldn't have even known what to say, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
I wasn't prepared for that.
Street was sick, dude. There's nothing better than like going to like a skate park with your friends and just being like an idiot and just be like talking shit to everyone who couldn't kind of really skate as well as you guys, or just like, and then if there was a better crew rolling into the park, you just watch and chill and admire. It was fun, dude. And then like I was never super good, never nearly good enough to get sponsored, but I could skate the stuff I wanted to skate, and try tricks I wanted to try. And it was so fun, dude. Yeah. But like every time I'd step on a skateboard for like a year's period, it'd be like, God, I'm up here now, I'm horrified, there's a camera on me, all my friends are down there, I have to at least try it. It's like one of the things that you can't just be like, no, not today guys, sorry, and walk down. They're gonna be like, you suck, dude, go try it. And except a lot harsher than that. And then you either try and you just die, and there's footage of it, and it's funny. It's still fun. It's like, dude, you took a slam. That's cool. Or like you'll get pumped and you'll land it. So I used to have the mentality like a slam is just as good as making a trick. It's good footage.
My friends used to sit around, and I was already skating goofy footed with my back foot on the deck, and I used to eat it so hard, and they used to laugh so hard. I mean, I don't know how many times I hit my neck. But then you get that direct correlation between landing tricks and hitting your head, and then you're just you know. But they don't tell you, it's like you're gonna beat the heck out of your body when you get a little bit older. I mean,
when you get older, man, back is fucked.
Yeah, you know, it's just I mean, these are things where these are 30 years ago that I did these, like, you know, hauling off loading docks and stuff.
I was a big kid in high school. Like I was much bigger than I was now. I was big. I was on like 230, 220 in high school, and I would throw myself on a skateboard off roofs and like double sets.
That's what I was talking about. That's crazy.
I lived to eat shit on a skateboard, dude. Most of the time I would fall and not land the trick and go with like swollen elbows and like, or I have to stand on like my tippy toes for like weeks because like my heel was just bruised.
That was your thing. You're the guy that slams.
Yeah, I slammed.
you ate it too?
I'm gonna own it.
It was perfect to get right into
slamming.
Get into the entertainment industry. Get used to it. Just get used to it. First girl that you had a crush on that you played guitar for. I know. That's what I want to know. And
And we
I want to
can
know
play
the
it.
song,
Yeah.
and if you could play a little bit right now.
Do I have to name the girl's name?
No, we don't have to
Sick.
name her name.
She knows who she is. And check this out. It was this girl from high school, and in high school, like no one really knew no one knew I played the guitar, you know? Because I definitely kept it to myself in high school because I went to a big public high school. And I didn't want to seem like I had a loud mouth on me. Like I was class clown and shit. And I didn't want people to think like, yo, of course I think I play guitar well and all this shit. And I ended up going to a really good music college too. It was a pretty prestigious place to go.
Give it a shout out.
Berklee College of Music, woohoo!
Shout out Berklee College of
Proud
Music.
dropout. But, it was dope. It was cool to go there, but I was just, you go to a place where there's a lot of pressure to get into a 4-year school right off the bat, so it was nice to do that. But, yeah, first thing, she's like, you play guitar? And I was like, yeah, I kind of do. And then she heard me play and she liked what she heard. And
What age?
I was probably like, this wasn't my first time with a chick, but my first time playing guitar
We don't
with a
need the
chick.
details. We just want to know what age.
I was like probably 15.
Okay, 15. All right, that's
okay. I was
awesome.
thinking older. The way you made it seem like I was like, I was 20.
No,
But he's a
dude.
musician, dude. He's already more mature. He's a skater, too. You know?
15's that's
Yeah, it's
about the right
healthy
age,
age,
yeah.
healthy
That's
age, you know?
healthy. Yeah.
And so, yeah, and then now it's like, dude, that's my thing. That's my thing. Playing guitar for a chick, that's my thing. That's my thing. Because, I mean, as cheesy as and horrible as it's a nice thing. They go, like, do you play guitar? And you're like, yeah, a little. And you just.
Okay, that's the point. Let's go back to that. The and it doesn't have to be long. We're gonna do a back then and a now, and we're gonna talk about how your music changes. You're gonna be singing it. So the riff you played for her, and then the riff that this is your go-to right now. Obviously, you can't use your go-to. Your second best. Your second best, because then you can't go to it anymore.
So,
That's messed up.
So I've always had a little smooth sound to my playing, but I used the looping pedal. I know that.
Okay,
So I looped something for it. I probably did like I think I.
Let's go.
Idea.
let's go.
Let's
We're
see
dying.
Let's see what this sounds like. I
See
gotta
how he
pick
builds
the
up
little jump groove
anticipation?
here,
You know, he's an artist. This is how you have to do
This
it.
is
so there's your little groove. Okay, we'll take it.
Here we go.
So let's see. It's probably. Let's see. 1, 2, wait, 5 minutes. I'll keep going.
Yeah. Look at Monica.
And
Look at her smile. Look at her. She's already. Look at her. Uh-oh. What's that?
I want to throw my underwear at you.
Monica's hot right now. Look at her. She's sweating. She's sweating right now. This She's sweating. Would it work?
Panties
Baby,
drop.
would it work?
What?
Would pennies drop? If we
Well, I mean,
play that for a girl?
one guy did that to me one time. He's like, hey, I said, hey, do you play guitar? I said the same question, and he's like, the same.
You gotta leave it. You just let him walk into
Well,
the trap.
I used to hate the dudes at the parties that would play the piano.
Oh, you'd hate
and,
me.
and then all the girls would be like, "Oh, let's play." I was like, "Whatever."
What kind of party did you go to where they had a piano?
Filipino
I-
household, there's always a piano there.
Are you serious?
For
Really?
some- yeah.
Is
And,
it a church
no one
thing?
ever plays it. No, it's a piano is almost kind of like a sign of class.
30 seconds.
Also, it's a model minority Asian thing where it's like my kid plays the piano, but then they really don't. They just have it there.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I was thinking it was like a symbolic thing because, like, if you got a piano to an island, like, you really made it. You know what I mean? And they had to get the
That's
piano
what I'm
there.
saying.
It's a
Yeah.
class, a simple
Yeah,
class
yeah.
thing. A sign of like wealth or whatever. Like I had one, but no one ever freaking played it.
Took a little break. As we close off, we've got about a half hour or so left in this podcast, but we were vibing out so much on the first part of this podcast with this little collab between Gabe and Harry that we wanted to keep going. I mean, sometimes words are just a little too much, and it's very ironic that I would say that. And I know you guys are gonna make fun of me, but sometimes you have to enjoy just the process.
Yeah.
You know, you guys,
Paint shop sounds good.
we were outside talking, and we just literally wanted to just do this podcast, just to do a cool podcast like that. We wanted to see something with music in it, something where you're just vibing out and you're just chopping it up. You know, the only thing that I saw that was even close to it was that one that, remember Sammy Hagar did that one. You
I
know,
know Sammy Hagar, but I didn't know he did it.
yeah, he had like, it wasn't like a really podcast, but he'd have a lot of
Like Nuno from Extreme, Nuno Betancourt. I saw that.
oh yeah, there you go. See, you know, and that's kind of like what we were going to, where we would just keep it kind of just organic. You know, because everybody just kind of tries to hype stuff up, but it's really hard to capture the creative moment. But you know, this is something that I had in my mind. Gabe, you're talking about an album that's releasing tomorrow.
Today, there's an album that dropped today by the Ghost Funk Orchestra I was playing earlier.
That was the album that was playing earlier, by the way, the one that we were grooving out to. Gabe's got it over here at the shop, and you know, if you guys want to come up and just build up, you don't necessarily need to build up your record collection, but I bought like a little small record player, and so I come in here from time to time and I just buy records here, or maybe even across the street at Ska Dogs, and then I just go home and I play and I put my phone down, because I need my time too. And sometimes I feel like the phone and the social media just destroys us. How are you dealing with it? Because now you got to promote yourself.
Yeah.
I want to know how you deal with it, because
It's definitely a necessary evil for me. Like, in a perfect world, I'm lucky it's there. I'm lucky that I can take advantage of it. But I'll be real, it's heartbreaking when your shit doesn't go as planned, but that's just part of it, dude. That's part of the game. And you are not going to get where you want to go unless you can take advantage of these social media situations. I'm a believer in that. I don't see it's very hard, nearly impossible. Social media you can reach so many people, but I mean, it's annoying. You can't get lost in what other people are doing on it.
That's what I feel.
You just got to do your own. I know where I stand in it and where I stand as a musician on Instagram. Like, there are people who can play circles, but that's not what I'm here to advertise. It's not my circle shredding ability. It's just what I do. This is what I do, and I'm putting it out there. So, and that's all it is. And if it pops off, that's really nice. If it doesn't, it's still out there, and that's nice too.
I think I remember that movie Kevin Costner had, The Field of Dreams. I mean, I know. Okay, listen. I love Kevin Costner. I'm coming out of the closet today. I'm gonna tell you, I love Kevin Costner movies. Even Waterworld.
Postman?
The Postman, absolutely. The Postman is about Dharma, and Waterworld. Who's laughing now, Florida? You know, I mean, it's about the evolution of man and growing gills, and people just don't understand Kevin Costner. And I was gonna talk about Kanye, but I'm gonna talk about Kevin Costner.
So glad I'm not going there.
Yeah, but let's talk about Field of Dreams, because, like, don't you feel like if you build it, they would come? Because, you know, this record store didn't just appear or manifest itself. Like, how long did it take you to get this record store going? And can you please play another cut so we can play a little bit more music?
Yeah, honestly, so last October 2020, I started an online store. I was like kind of like not fed up with my job. I was burnt out from teaching remotely, and I was like, what else do I want to do? I want to open a record store. I live in the stacks of records. Made a website, put some records up. I already had a network. Did some pop-ups. April 2021, got the keys to this place. Opened up June 2021, and now we're here 2022.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And he overcame a little COVID in the process, and the store went through COVID. Yeah. Hey, you know, by the way, speaking of, that must have been a real, I don't want to say game changer for you, but that must have been a soul crusher.
Bro, I know. I got so much writing done and recording.
Are you serious?
Ruthless over COVID, dude. I was on a hot streak of writing like I'd never had. I could do no wrong.
I'm so glad you said that, because there's another thing I had to come out of the closet about, and I feel so guilty. But like, COVID worked out so great for me. Like, I built her a car. Like, I took it all the way down to the bones, like a Carmen Gia, yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I built her a whole car, and I had my friends come in on the process there, whose businesses were hurting, got them involved. I hooked up with like all these like famous comedians who I'd never get a chance to talk with, and they've kind of put me underneath their wings. I met Danny during COVID. That sounds a little.
Tommy John.
Yeah, we hung out with Tommy Chung. Yeah, that's how we met Danny. Yeah, dude, Tommy Chung was playing, or not playing, but he was just doing a guest appearance over at this weed place. And so he was right behind me in line as we were waiting to. Were you in front of me?
Yeah.
He was in front of me when we started. Then I just
Yeah.
except some guys snuck in. Yeah, because I needed somebody to take the pictures. You know what I mean? There's no proof.
Yeah,
Then he gave me a bong and I dropped it. Yeah, he signed it and I dropped it. Yeah, I know. I was
In the
like,
store?
this is
Wait, in the store?
No, it was at home.
Okay,
It was at
that's
home.
funny.
I did it with
That's
my
funny.
Imagine dropping it in
Little
front
bong
of
water.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That should have. That would happen. Whatever.
Well, because there was a whole thing going on. Like, should I use it because he signed it? And probably the answer is
I
no.
still have mine.
So you just broke. So you just broke it.
No, I was just. I was
Like,
like, I started
broke it.
using it, and I'm like, yeah, I got wet
Why didn't you
fingers.
use
Yeah.
it?
Love
Yeah, it
Use
is.
It was out of
I still,
papers.
I haven't used mine.
Worst. I know everybody's looking at me crazy. Like worst party foul of
that's
all
what
time.
I'd use if I was on papers. I'd smoke out of bong, autographed or not, and fucked it. It broke
See, you're an
so
artist.
hard.
You understand.
Yeah.
You understand. That's like I said. Show about art for artists.
Yeah.
That's all we were trying to do over here. You know, and dude, I gotta tell you something. Like, when I go traveling, like I like to go traveling and
Yeah.
shit. Like I used to, not anymore because I got responsibilities at home. But I always like to go to places that like nobody else goes to. Like when they got rid of record stores and shit like that, aren't you so happy that they still have one like
This is
like
great.
this?
This is cool.
You know what I mean? It's like when we actually like when I first came in here, my heart because Danny does NFTs and stuff like that, and he like whenever he gets like a comic or anything, he's like a little kid. He goes like that. But that's how I was when I came in here, like because I worked at record stores growing up, so I'm just constantly surrounded
Watch
by
this.
music.
Look at his face.
Oh my god.
Look at his face.
By the way, they got comic books over here too. If you guys just want to come down, they literally got comic books, records, and for those of you who partake, they have their cookies right over here. So if I was in another, like I don't say another state or something, and I want to do something that was budget and really fun, I'd come into this record store. I'm serious. And then they got a haunted record store across the
When
street.
you said cookies, I was like, is there a tray of cookies right there? And that's why I was looking like that, but then I realized you were talking about
It depends on your interpretation of cookies. Scooby snacks, whatever.
I was like, where are there cookies in this room? Like freshly baked cookies.
There is actually, by the way, across the thing, there's a bakery right across the cookies where they do bake fresh cookies.
That's where you buy weed. You buy weed at the bakery, then you go get bread at
It
the
is
cookie
very
company.
strategically placed. Yeah.
So you get your best weed from the baker at the bakery, and then you go to the cookie company to buy like bread and shit.
I would be
Shout
very
out to
surprised
Burner.
if they didn't.
Give, shout out to Burner.
Burner cooks
Yeah,
the best sourdough baguette I've ever had in my life. I go buy weed from the other place though.
Oh.
Okay. My man Berto, the cookies, I shot him out.
Yeah.
Oh, Burner?
yeah,
I
yeah.
heard Burner.
Yeah, Burner and Berto.
Can you hook
Two
us up a
people.
sponsorship, considering that everybody that you do have sponsored already is coming on the show in a minute here? So I don't even know what the problem is. Probably because we haven't reached out, huh?
But we only have one episode up, so if you build it, they will come. So let's just
If
keep
we
building.
Kevin Costner,
Come on.
see? It's
Someone-
about spreading
Someone
ideas and
choke on a
love.
hot dog.
It's about spreading ideas and love, you guys.
We need
Someone
content.
choked on a hot dog.
Hey, so we've got literally about 10 minutes left in this show, and there's about a million different ways we can go with this last 10 minutes. But how I want to go out is I want to just go out fucking jamming. You know what I mean? Like the fucking Titanic.
Let's say yeah.
You're English. Wait, I want to talk about the greatest musicians who ever lived. Were those musicians that were on the Titanic that actually kept playing as the ship was going down, and only an Englishman can pull that off. And only an Englishman, let's read it here, Dad. Only an Englishman can elect an Indian as your prime minister, knowing that you have to live with us. We're a complete pain in the butt. We know it. So only an Englishman could create the type of music that they can only create. You gotta have some favorite English bands or something like that, right?
Queen, dude.
Queen? Shout out Freddie Mercury, half English, half Indian. Nobody knew.
I didn't know
Nobody
until the
knew.
movie came out.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury.
I was like,
half
oh.
Indian. Yeah, it was like half Indian. Yeah, dude. I was like, when I found that out, and I was like, shout out David Gahan, Depeche Mode, half Indian, half English. Another undercover, Indian. That's the only two. That's the only two. Gabe, come on, let's play this shit out, dude. We got 10 minutes.
No, what is this shop?
Oh, you go-
I just want to know, whatever inspiration you pull from the shop, can you just like let it out?
Yeah.
With the guitar.
Okay.
You guys just want to vibe out with us for like
You
10
wanna do
minutes?
like a
We're just gonna
loop?
Yeah, whatever you feel.
we're gonna sit down,
Okay.
shut
this
up.
shop gives you whatever vibe the shop
Yeah.
gives you.
I'll try this. Okay. I'll try this. Let's see.
Wait a second.
No.
I got an idea. Hold on.
You're second to like 10
No,
minutes.
dude, me and Monica are gonna swap spots. Because, come on, go, hop in there.
Why?
No.
She doesn't want to swap?
No, I'm not. This is all
Oh,
Harry
okay.
right now.
Oh, it's all Harry? Okay.
Is it right there?
Alright, you guys.
10 minutes. Okay.
Oh,
That's
people.
true.
Yeah, I'll learn how to use this thing. Yeah.
This is like literally you get your own private concert. How
Just
dope
combine
is
the last two songs.
This is
Yeah,
for you guys.
Let's see.
Oh, is Gabe coming in with something?
Well, keep playing.
Keep on going. Here we go. Strong closeout, guys. It's not about how you finish. That's what we're trying to fucking create. You know, I mean, like, I could have just gone on and just listened to that shit for fucking ever, pretty much. You know, it's like, I know, you know, so do you got a studio over at your house? Where do you practice?
Yeah, I record music out of my house too.
You're doing it out of your house?
Yeah.
You got any of the, do you have like what they call like a content house or some shit?
No, fuck no. I got like a little pad in Mountain View, a little like a duplex. No, it's like a trap house, bro. But
Oh, really?
I'm like killing it.
That's
It's
a
only-
real art house, by
It's
the
only
way.
a trap
They're
house.
all trap
It's
house.
only a trap house because I live there, bro. Like if a chick move in there, dude, it'd be so nice. But it's like me in there, so.
So I'm lucky enough to have.
You know how it is, bro.
I'm lucky enough to actually have a house, but my friends, when they used to come over when I grew up, they used to call it a trap house. And now Danny comes over and it's called a content house. And I was like, what's the difference? And I was like, well, I guess there's no alcohol now. That would be the one big difference. But it's still, we're just creating art. It was just we did it when we were younger, at my place. So I don't know. It's like he's over with all his friends. Like we got a bunch of artists that come over all the time. I'm sure that they've got maybe we could go to La Russell's or something like that. That's when you guys jam. Like where do you jam? And do you guys have spots that you can jam where you can just go play guitar?
Well, I do that in my house, so I'll invite. The Russell's been over to my house before. Like I invite people. Like my space is only big enough for like me and another artist in there. Like it's not the biggest room. But it works, and I get a lot out of it. There's like rehearsal spots in Oakland that are like they work for rehearsing.
Is that where you guys is that where you guys meet? You guys like meet over rehearsal?
No, usually, with Gino, it's a small crew. It's me and Gino and the DJ, so we can meet at my house and run through sets and stuff like that. And I know the set so well, I don't even really need to be at most rehearsals anymore. And then. As for playing like with the drummer or something, or trying to play with the drummer.
Is this an apartment?
And my place, place is technically an apartment, but it's no shared walls. It looks like a house on the street.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So it's basically like just total.
Dude, yeah, I never get a noise complaint ever, and I just play music all fucking day long.
I could see I could see it being because didn't Mountain View it's become really expensive.
It's super expensive, bro, and it sucks. But everywhere is super expensive here. But it's dope. I live in the one block left of Little Mountain View. It's it's Little Mexico. It's so my back neighbors, they don't speak any English and I don't speak any Spanish, and they fucking love me like I'm their grandson and shit. They go, Jerry, and I go, hey Juan, and he goes, Jerry, and plays some air guitar. And his wife Claire, who's like this tall, she's like my grandma. She loves the shit out of me.
Oh yeah.
She goes, Jerry, and gives me a little heart sign, and I give it back, and she goes, I love you, Jerry. And she just fucks off. It's hella cute.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Latinos, I got to tell you something. If you want to make it in the Bay Area or anywhere as far as entertainment goes, you have to get the Latino community. Not only because they ride forever. It's not like it's just it's not like it's just comedy or records or your bands. They're literally go to they're lifers is what you call it. And they ride hard, dude. It's they're literally, if you're doing concerts and stuff like that, that Latino community just definitely a great community to connect with.
PJ, I'm glad you said that, because every time you bring up an ethnicity,
It's usually
I get scared because I think we're going to get canceled.
Yeah, and I was like, the whole time I was like,
Where are we going with this?
It's like my girlfriend.
I thought you were because Mexico, the Latino community compared to the.
No, dude, that's not. There's one love.
No, you handled that well.
I've been Mexican. I grew up in There's no secret that I don't know that I'm I. It's impossible to be brown washed because I'm already as brown as I am. But I literally grew up. All my friends, the closest friend, my best man at my wedding is Mexican. My wife's gonna be Mexican. I'm married into the mob, so to speak. And when I say mob, I don't mean that as a negative
not
connotation.
criminal.
I'm talking about family mob. And if you're Latino, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't pretend like you don't, because I've been at your houses. I know what happens.
Right, there we go.
Canceled.
Fun, a lot of fun. Why does it always have to be negative reinforcement? Have you guys ever been to a Latino house? It's like the funnest place to be.
That's true.
You
I'm
know,
Filipino.
it's like-
we're part Latino.
Yeah, that's, speaking of,
So many similarities.
Filipino houses are pretty fun too. You know, make sure you go with an empty stomach. They'll feed you.
Oh, you ain't
That's the
leaving.
first thing.
You're not leaving until we feed you.
You get some pansat and some lumpia at least. You know,
We have,
before you walk
we
up
have
My
to
to
it.
Instagram feed. Are we done?
Oh no, we
No,
have 2
no.
minutes.
Ponce, by the
My
way.
Instagram feed, you can inform me. My Instagram feed is partially filled because I'm obsessed with them. Are these whole roasted pigs from, and they have the crispy, and they go
Oh, yeah,
with the
the-
knife. They go.
So they're showing.
Where do you get one of those? I will pay so much money to get one if I can get. I don't want to go to Filipinos, but how do I get one in the San Francisco area?
You just go to a Filipino store and special
And
order
they
one.
will cook you one,
You'll get
like a whole
I had,
suckling.
I had,
Yeah, dude,
I had
they got
two
one
whole
on
pigs at my wedding.
Google. They
And,
got
you're
one on
and I
Google.
can go up to with the knife and go
Yeah.
and just cut that
Yeah.
boar.
Yo.
They got a Filipino restaurant
Make
right on
you
the
are-
with the head and the apple.
Yes, yeah.
Everything.
Give me the name. How
got
much?
you.
I don't care how much it costs. I'm getting
You'll
one.
get one. Yeah. When's your birthday?
January 8th, bro.
For your birthday, we're having a whole pig.
I'll tell you what.
In La Russell's backyard,
I'll
we're
tell,
gonna cook it there.
no. I'll tell you what. I think he's gonna make you a deal. I think there's a deal that I see. You get LaRussell to do a Tiny Desk concert over here, and he's gonna hook you up that pig.
We're gonna cook it in
Yeah,
La
we'll
Russell's
cook it in-
backyard. We're gonna dig a hole,
We're gonna
throw that
luau.
pig in there.
We're gonna
Actually,
luau us.
We're gonna put it on. We're gonna roast it.
Those pigs are like, dude. My Instagram feed will tell you how much I love those pigs.
One more time. Let's get on this. What, dude? Spell your Instagram out just in case.
It's- LEGENHARRY. Legend Harry.
Where else can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok, also at Legend Harry.
I'm gonna hook
Yeah,
that up.
man.
You know, I'm surprised we didn't go TikTok live.
Do you have a YouTube?
I don't have YouTube. I should get more on the YouTube hype.
Yeah,
definitely need to do
that would-
But you got something to go on now.
Yeah, I can just.
You just literally play this
episode.
episode. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. So because we don't when we collab on these episodes, no one actually owns it. You can use whatever you want. It's promote. Definitely promote us because you might be on it next. So you know you got to remember this is literally a podcast by artists, for artists, to artists, all the Bay Area artists that are out there. You know, and you know we want to let you know that you know we're gonna find you. If you're good, we're we're gonna find you, and you're gonna be on this podcast. You might not even like it, but you will by the time you leave. I hope, and so make sure you know if you type in BASSD on TikTok, it doesn't show up. It's kind of sad.
No, you
But-
have to put podcast.
You have to put base podcast. So make sure you type in BASSD podcast because that'll be on at least a promo. Not because if you got us and you're watching us on YouTube, you figured it
And on
out.
Instagram as well.
Don't forget our base podcast,
Where can we find
BASSD
you,
podcast.
Gabe?
At the Stacks Record Shop. At the Stacks Record Shop on Instagram, Twitter, Stacks Record Shop, and then we're also on TikTok also at the Stacks Record Shop.
And obviously, you can connect back to the podcast through his Instagram also. And Harry, if you go over to his Instagram, it's a real treat. He's got some really nice cuts all over the place. His grid's solid. Just go and just visit his grid, and then follow him because he's gonna do something. He's like, you know, I think like, you know, can I tell you like, I'm gonna end on this note. Like, you know, as an artist, you know, I learned something this week, and I want to share it with you guys. What I learned, and it came from another stand-up comedian. He told me three things. And if you guys remember this, I think it'll really help you out because it's helped me. Number one, he said, always tell your own truth. Don't be something you're not. Number two, he said, never be the hero. Nobody likes a hero or a wannabe hero. No, we don't need any more heroes. And number three, always be ready. So, always tell your truth, never be a hero, and always be ready. And on that, we're going to end the podcast. Thank you guys for following us, man. We had a blast. I hope it shows through on the podcast. And you guys want to just say goodbye individually?
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with the Legion.
Legion of Harry.
Legion of Harry.
Legion of Harry.
Thank you guys. I
We're legionaries.
appreciate being here.
Legend Harry.
Thank
We're
you guys for
legionaries.
having me, for sure. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Danny.
thanks, Harry.
Yeah.
Give Adam
Thanks
a
for
shout out.
watching.
Give Adam a fun shout
On
out.
the
about
show.
Value culture.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out Adam Swig, Valley Culture, my boss.
Shout out USF.
Yeah, shout out USF. I'm
Graduating only stars.
There you
yeah.
go. Love you, Mom. I'm Mama.
Hey, who's ever this guy's parents, you guys did a good job.
Yeah.
And on that, we're cut. Let's go. That's
Woo!
a wrap. Hell yeah.
That was fun.